What's going on, guys? Gonna tap the holes today to the TRD skid plate sections. This is also just your standard regular skid plate section as well. If you don't have the TRD skid, I believe the bolts are the same size in length, that is. So this could still arise if you have a non-TRD skid as well. I'm not sure what models these all affect, but basically I know if you have a TRD skid plate, it's gonna affect you at some point. So with that said, basically what this does is it cleans out the holes where just it seems like a bunch of metal gunk can just build up and prevent you from fully threading in a bolt. So mine right now only go about halfway in the rear. The front seemed to be okay. I'll show those a little later in the video. But this is what you're gonna need. It's real simple stuff. Some safety glasses just so you don't get some of the tap cutting fluid in your eye or metal shavings, a handle for the tap, a tab itself, your 14 millimeter on a ratchet, and some of the fluid. If you need the specific size, it's 10 millimeter by 1 1/4. And that's really about it. So let's get started. Alrighty, so let's remove the skid plate. It's easier to do this if you have a jack or somebody with you. I think the skid weighs about 21 pounds, which can be a little bit of a pain, especially when you're working on the last bolt to get out. I typically like to loosen them all and then go from there. The front bolt is usually the hardest. You'll notice I don't go on the passenger side one simply because I do not have a bolt there. I broke it off. And go from there. That one's out. This one is out. That one is out as well. There we go. So I've been using a few different bolt sizes. This one is the correct thread size right here. That's the one you want to be using. These, however, are not. These are just replacements I used. As you can see, it is much shorter than this one. And then this one is even shorter. They're just temporary. I ended up buying the TRD Skid hardware, which is all in here. But unfortunately, the two back holes I cannot get to screw in, which is why this process is being done. It is a very common issue with forerunners that run this skid setup. And like I said, if you have a regular, normal skid plate setup, you may run into this issue as well. I'm just not 100% sure about that. That is the one hole that needs to be done. This one does not need to be done. I have not had an issue with it. There's another hole here. That one also would need to be done. I broke the well nut off inside off-roading when I banged my skid plate, which you can see the chunk that got smashed out. So that one will not need to be done. And then back here in the rear, if you go back, you'll see this bolt here. Just go up to the second bolt size. That hole will need to be done. And then same on the other side, that hole will need to be done. I'm not planning on taking this off, but if you can take it off, you just need to remove this bolt. Same size, I believe, of 14. I think it gets put on at the same amount of torque, which is 22 foot-pounds, or as I like to say, hand tight with a 1/4 turn. Show you. This is the bolt that comes with the hardware. Let me just switch hands here. As you can see, goes in, no issues whatsoever. The rears, however, which is where the issue is, screw in fine for the probably first quarter, and then right here, it don't want to go. It just wants to stop. So this is the problem you'll come in contact with a lot. You know, I'm not really sure if using impact guns cause it, if it's just over time the shaking, if they do something wrong at factory. You normally are okay with the front holes, but the rear holes are the issues. Forget one thing, paper towels. You're gonna want some paper towels, because when you clean this off, there's gonna be a lot of gunk all in here, especially these grooves right here. So you're gonna wanna clean it out each time you switch from one hole to another. All right, so as I said, the front really wasn't an issue. I just did it just to clean it out. It's always a good habit to do. But most of the time, the fronts aren't the issues, it's the rear. So let's go ahead. We're gonna test out this rear. It should be much different than that front one was. And we'll see how this goes. right, so again, gonna put it in. That's what she said. Start it to turn it until you feel it catch. Make sure it is straight. I am in right now, and I can already feel the resistance. So again, we're just gonna start to go a turn, and then back it up. You'll feel it break loose. Once you feel that resistance stop, you're pretty much good to go. You can stick to that quarter turn if you want, then continue going in. You're gonna feel the resistance, do about a half a turn, then go back. Again, you're gonna feel it break away. Once it breaks that dirt and grime and whatever else away, then again, quarter turn, back it up, broke away. Just repeat the process until you're done. So as you can tell, this one has a lot more. So there's still more in there. So I'm just gonna clean this off, put a fresh little bit of lube on and go back in. Alrighty, so now let's try and get this bolt in. If you remember earlier, it would not go in right. See how it goes in now. About right there is where it would have stopped last time. As you can tell, this keeps going in. Nice and easy. Just the way it should be. Give you a close-up of what this looks like. Back out. Right there, it broke free. And just keep turning it in. Back it out. Turn it back. Catches right here. Almost a half turn. Back. Right there, broke free. And just same old process. So if you can see how that last hole, where the hole is, you can see how that groove is pretty much even with it. It's kind of hard to tell a little bit because there's two holes. Technically you have this section, but then it goes into that section there. So once it's reaching that section, which it is right here, again, it's kind of a little hard to tell, but it's just about even with it. You're good. You can stop there and just slowly take it out and then put the skid back on. So there you go, nice and clean again. And this is the aftermath of all the nastiness that was in there. Alrighty, like I say, get them all hand tight. Once they're hand tight, okay, this one's hand tight, and then just half a turn. Okay, this one's pretty tight, half turn. And then this one, same thing, half turn, and done.